They say family is everything, but sometimes the people who shape us the most are also the ones who leave the deepest, quietest scars. In a city filled with millions of lives moving at full speed, Zara often felt alone with emotions she could never fully explain. From the outside, she had everything: a successful career, a stylish life, independence. But beneath that polished surface lived a past she had carefully tried to escape. Growing up, her home was not chaotic in an obvious way. It was quiet, controlled, and emotionally distant. Her mother loved deeply but struggled to express it, while her father provided stability without ever offering warmth. In that silence, Zara learned early that love was not something freely given, it had to be earned through perfection. She became the strong one, the achiever, the one who never complained even when she felt invisible. As she grew older, Zara built a new life in the city, redefining herself with confidence and ambition. She became everything her family expected her to be, yet something inside her always felt incomplete. Have you ever reached a point where everything looks right on the outside, but something still feels missing within? That quiet emptiness followed her everywhere, until one unexpected moment changed everything. One evening, her phone rang, displaying a name she had avoided for months: her mother. For a few seconds, Zara froze, her heart caught between fear and curiosity. When she finally answered, the voice on the other end felt different, softer, almost fragile. "Come home," her mother said. Just two simple words, yet they carried years of silence, misunderstanding, and unspoken emotions. For days, Zara wrestled with the decision. Should she go back to a place filled with unresolved feelings or remain safe in the life she had built? Eventually, she chose to return, not for them, but for herself. Walking through her old neighborhood felt surreal, as if time had paused while she had moved on. The streets, the walls, even the air carried memories, some comforting, others painful. When she finally stood at the door of her childhood home, she hesitated, realizing that sometimes the hardest place to return to is where you once belonged. When the door opened, her mother embraced her tightly, longer than ever before. It felt unfamiliar, yet deeply needed. Still, not everything changed instantly. At the dinner table, silence lingered like it always had. Her father avoided eye contact, and unspoken tension filled the space between them. But this time, Zara refused to stay silent. Gathering her courage, she asked the question she had carried for years: was I ever enough? The room fell into a heavy stillness. Then, unexpectedly, her mother broke down, revealing emotions she had hidden for years. She confessed that they had always loved Zara, but never truly knew how to express it. Soon after, her father quietly admitted that he had always been proud of her. He just didn't know how to say it. In that moment, something shifted inside Zara. She realized that her family's silence was never about a lack of love. It was about emotional limitations they themselves had inherited. They were not perfect, they were human. And perhaps that was the truth she had been avoiding all along. How many of us wait for perfect love, not realizing that imperfect love is all anyone can truly give? Healing didn't come instantly, but it began with understanding. Over the next few days, small changes emerged. Awkward conversations turned into genuine ones, quiet meals became moments of shared laughter, and emotional distance slowly softened into connection. Zara began to see her family differently, not as the source of her pain, but as people shaped by their own struggles, fears, and unspoken histories. She understood that we inherit more than just traits. We inherit ways of loving, patterns of silence, and emotional habits passed down through generations. The real choice, she realized, was whether to repeat those patterns or break them. And for the first time, she chose differently. When it was time to return to the city, Zara felt lighter. Not because everything was fixed, but because she finally understood. She was no longer running from her past, she was learning from it. Standing once again on her balcony, overlooking the glowing skyline, she felt a quiet sense of peace. Her family hadn't changed completely, and neither had she. But something important had shifted. She no longer needed perfection from them or from herself. Because in the end, family doesn't define us through flawless love. It shapes us through complexity, through misunderstanding, and ultimately through our willingness to grow beyond what we were giving. And sometimes, healing doesn't begin with changing others, it begins the moment we choose to understand them.